Welcome back to another awesome, fantastic race here at the Charlotte Roval. Tonight, the guys here at the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues are going to be taking on this wonderful track with the GT3 cars. Tonight, I've got Jay in the booth. Jay, how you doing?
Man, I'm ready for some Formula racing here. This is going to be fun. The best Irishers in the business. They've been warming these things up here in practice. We've been watching a little bit of that. Got some very fast competitors out here tonight. And if we've learned anything from the race we covered in this series so far this season, we are in for an amazing race, an amazing show. See who comes out on top. Let's get it going.
Absolutely. We're going to be taking on some oval sections of this track. We're going to be taking on some very flat corners in the infield, some chicanes. It's going to get wild. We're going to be watching everybody get maybe a little bit of desperation at the beginning of this race, and then going on. Hopefully everybody takes the right amount of fuel. We've seen that in the past. So right now we've got just about 4 minutes left in practice. So we're going to be watching these guys go around the racetrack and do their thing before the race. Right now, Logan Raggioni, he is out on track and leading this practice session in his green, number 62 Porsche. Currently with a 1:15.62, James Pearson P2. That's unfortunate there for Logan. Alexander Light, the next one up, he's up in P3. He's had a great season so far. But, Jay, let's get a little bit of discussion going on here right now. What are we going to expect with these drivers and this 45-minute race that we're going to be having here coming up here soon really quickly? But more importantly, what are we going to be seeing in qualifying? How much does track position mean in a race like this?
Yeah, I think track position is going to be key. I don't know when we get to the race what these guys' strategy is. We've seen mixed bags with the most races we've covered so far this year. Some guys are going to have to stop maybe early in the race. Maybe they planned a later pit stop. Shoot, in the last race, we saw a couple guys stretch it on fuel and ultimately came to a victory for a lucky driver in that fuel scenario. Maybe we see something like that. And then when it comes to qualifying, I think qualifying is going to be the most important part of this race. If you can get into a front running position and maintain that track position, the strategy is open from there. So this qualifying session is going to be very important in deciding who could ultimately win the race here tonight.
Absolutely. It's going to be extremely important to get that good track position. I think turn one is going to be just wild. Lots of commotion going to be happening there at the opening parts of this race in turn one. So I think that qualifying up front and getting yourself in a good position there to, get away from some of that noise going to be happening in turn one is going to be your best bet for these drivers here. Qualifying, though, that's where it's going to need to happen. You're going to need to get that done. Make sure you get yourself a good qualifying position for the race. Now, what about or who should we be looking out for tonight? Look, we've got some newcomers coming in. We've got the number 62 of Logan Raggioni. We got James Pierce now in P2 going up against Logan here. Alexander Light, Gregory Shaw, Cameron Keeley. We're watching these guys all year long. What can we expect out of these group of guys going into this race?
Yeah, this is going to be a great battle. I mean, they've all got a lot of pace. We've seen them up front in every single race so far this season in this series. But I still think that the pressure here lies on the shoulders of James Pierce. We've seen him just so dominant to start this season, really kind of solidifying himself as a favorite to win these races. I think it's going to go through him again tonight. We'll see what kind of pace, as you mentioned, with your newcomer, Raggioni. He has been fast here in practice. Maybe he's a contender for pole and maybe has that race pace to match James Pierce, which we haven't really seen yet this season.
It's definitely going to be interesting what we're going to find out during the race and during qualifying. We have only got just about 20 seconds left in this session. Javon Thompson on track, Rob Collier on track. These guys just getting in a last little bit on track time to go ahead and try and get anything figured out for them. try and maximize their qualifying effort. That will be happening here very soon. All right, practice is now rounded out. We will go into qualifying now. This is a 15-minute qualifying session. Open qualifying. We're going to be seeing all of these cars out on track. Maybe some drama we might be seeing here tonight during the qualifying. We will see. First out right now, Keith Brubaker. And James Pierce. James Pierce in the one car. The number 1 Porsche has been dominant all season long. He's got a little competition here tonight. Let's see what he can do in that number 1 Porsche.
Let's see what kind of benchmark number he could put up on the board here to start qualifying. Always fast. See how aggressive he gets on the brakes and how aggressive are these drivers going through the backstretch chicane. That's going to be a very challenging part of this track, especially here in qualifying. You're trying to push really hard, make the best lap time you can get.
Coming on to the oval section, a little bit more speed to be had here. Down the back straightaway into this back straight chicane. This is a very crucial area. If you want to make up some time, push it a little bit harder there. Very fine line, though. Very fine line going through there. If you will push it just a little bit too hard, you're going to find yourself into the barriers there. But now we'll watch James now come into the final chicane, get ready for his qualifying run.
Yes, he was getting a little bit of heat in them tires, it looked like, doing a little bit of tire swerving. Getting ready to come here for his first lap here, going through the inner oval part as he loses control into the Bank of America wall.
Well, that's not what he needed. We'll go on board with Gregory Shaw now. Gregory Shaw will be your next guy to cross the start-finish line. Greg's had a lot of speed this year in that number 45 machine. Getting some very good finishes as well. Maybe another race weekend we can see this number 45 car on the podium.
Yeah, he's going to have a tough battle with his teammate Alexander Light, running pretty similar paint schemes, just opposite numbers there, 45, 54. So keep your eyes on them. They're going to be racing each other real hard tonight. If it's anything like we saw in the Gen 6 series here at the Roval, these guys are going to be putting on a show.
Yeah, absolutely. As he comes across the start-finish line now, Gregory Shaw. He puts up a 117. Cameron Keeley bests him with a 17.4. And Littleton just a little bit behind Shaw there. Go ahead and go on board with Michael Oceans here. He is on the back straightaway chicane, now going into NASCAR 3. He'll be hitting his lap next. Now through the final corners, number 11, BMW. Seeing if he can challenge Cameron Keeley here. He goes P4 with a 120. Daniel Maddox. Across the start-finish line. Goes P6 with a 124. Here comes Logan in the number 62. Let's see what he can put down here. He goes a 118.0, 118.0 for Logan so far. Steven Downton across the start-finish line does not get a time down. Here comes Rob Collier coming across the start-finish line. Jeremy Littleton does go P1 on the board right there. Rob Collier P5.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's going faster here on their second lap. James Pierce to the top with a 1:16 flat. What a time.
That's a great time so far in this qualifying session. James Pierce putting him and that number 1 car up to the top. We'll go back to Michael Oceans here. He'll be the next one across the start-finish line in that number 11 BMW coming through the final chicane now. Let's see if he can best that position of P7. He does go faster. He goes a 119 flat, but it's not enough to beat Rob Collier. Here comes Logan again. Maybe a little bit faster this time by. Through the final chicane, the number 62 Porsche crosses the start-finish line. And he goes P1 with a 1:15.8. 2/10 quicker than James.
Wow, what a flyer.
Gregory Shaw goes up to P3. Steven Downton up to P8. Rob Collier again coming across the start-finish line. Here comes James Pierce as well. Let's see if he can challenge for that top spot. He does! He goes on 1:15.6. He's 2/10 quicker than Logan. These guys are going back and forth now as you see James spin out into throughout turn 1. Logan, though, he's going to be able to challenge this. Jeremy Littleton now. He is coming through the final chicane. Let's see what he can do. Crossing the start-finish line now. No time for Jeremy. Matt Yost in his Ferrari coming off of turn 4 now. He'll be going into the final chicane. Currently P10. Keeping inside that top 10 for right now. Crossing the start-finish line. Let's see what Matt can do here. Almost the same exact time. No, he does go a little faster. Alexander Light now in P4 coming through final corners here. Let's see if he can do anything. He does. He goes up to P3. He's beating his teammate, Gregory Scholl, a 1:16.72.
Yeah, that's tight there between the Limitless teammates there, P3, P4.
Jeremy Littleton crossing the start-finish line once again. He goes slower. Here comes Michael Oceans through the final corners. Let's see what he can do. Crossing the start-finish line. 1:19.03. Excuse me. Here comes Logan now. This is his 4th lap. Oh, he makes a little contact. That's not going to be enough.
Definitely lost some time on that one. Looked like he had that same mistake there a couple laps back where he grabbed that last curb.
Cameron Keeley now crossing the start-finish line. That puts him back up into the top 5. That's a good run for the number 63 crew. Here comes Alexander Light now through the final corners in that P3 position. See if he goes any better. He does, a 1:16.5.
That was a really good lap. Only 9/10 off your pole time.
Here's Daniel Maddox. Oh, just missing that back straight chicane there. Looks like he's got a little damage on that right rear. It's not going to help him out like what he wanted.
I think we're going to have to rename that backstretch chicane the Action Corner, because that is where we're going to see a lot of action tonight. A great passing zone, a very easy place to make a mistake. Call it the Action Corner tonight.
Absolutely. It's definitely going to be a point to go and look at. Here's Alexander Light now coming through the back straight chicane. He's going to have one more chance. This is it right here for the 54 car. Try to get himself closer to those top 2 runners. And he's going to pull it off. Here comes Javon now. Javon's just now starting his run. So we're not going to get a time out of him just yet. Maybe we can go on board with Javon since he is the only car on track right now. We'll show you guys a little bit what Javon is seeing. Using lots of curb there. Using as much track as he can. Oh, he got loose.
Oh, he's going to save it. He wheels out of it. That was amazing. Keeping us all entertained here, Javon. What a drive.
It's not going to be the first lap that Javon's going to be looking for. But nonetheless, he's still got lots of time to go out and redeem himself. Very good. Nice entrance and exit there for the 93 Porsche. Going into NASCAR 3 and 4 now. And into the final chicane. Javon will have a little bit of a slower lap time this time by. We're not going to get a good judgment on where his speed may be at. 121.6. Without that spin that he had. What, turn 5? Yeah, turn 5. Without that spin in turn 5.
Yeah.
Maybe go a little bit faster. Javon now coming back through turn 5. Trying to keep that car glued to the track. He gets it done this time by. Couple more solid corners for this 93 car, and he'll get himself back to where he wants to be on the qualifying order.
Yeah, that turn 5 is a very difficult corner in itself with the uphill elevation change. Really upset that car a little bit. Was able to recover, though, carried the momentum back to green, so this should be a pretty good lap. We'll see how he gets into the chicane here in the back stretch.
Pretty good set of corners there for the 93. He's coming through NASCAR 3 and 4 now. Be watching him come through those finals corners. So critical to get those corners down and get a good lap time put in. A good turning, or good set of turns there. He's crossed start finish line. He does go P7 with the 117.7. Which is a good lap. All these guys are really close together here. From just about 5th to 11th.
And he's going to keep his foot in it. He's going to put up another lap here, or at least attempt to. We've seen that everybody's gone faster their second lap, and this would be his relative second lap.
Alex in the chat. Alexander Light, the driver, commenting, my pre-race prediction. All drivers will have fun. Look, I don't know if that's sarcastic or not. I can't really read it through the text. But Alex, that's my prediction too.
Maybe a little hopeful thinking or wishful thinking or optimism. I like it. I know we're going to be having fun up here in the booth calling this race. This is going to be a good time.
It sure is. It always is a good time up here in the booth. Javon just put down another lap. A 17.5. It does best his last lap time. So he is getting faster. He's got one more minute. This will probably end his qualifying run. It is his last lap as well, so trying to leave everything out there on the track. This number 93 Porsche. Maybe we can incorporate a Joker lap or something like that. That'd be kind of fun. I'm down.
Yeah, the little
down
cool
for
down lap. Pull a Kyle Busch move into the turn one, over the turn one wall there.
James says his setup is more wank than my social skills. My guy, I am on board. Coming across the start-finish line now for Javon. That's going to finish up his qualifying run. This is the Joker lap that, well, they cut us short. You guys won't be able to see it. But now, we're going into warm-up. We got 5 minutes for these drivers to go ahead and tune up any last bit of adjustments they need to do. But first off, congratulations to James Pierce once again taking the pole. We got Logan Raggioni up in P2. And it was Alexander Light in P3. That's your top 3 for today. It'll be your grid. As everybody now hits the track to go ahead and start tweaking last-minute tweaks on their setup.
Yeah, throw your race setup in on the car. See if you can find some race pace here. Shake her down a little bit. As Tom said, maybe make a little tweaks or adjustments if you think you need them. I think these guys are ready to go racing. I know I'm ready to go racing.
Yes. Yes, very, very ready to go racing. Watch these guys hit the track. Ready to go.
Well, I think there's one more thing we could talk about before we go green here. We kind of alluded at it. What is your race pick for tonight? Who do you think takes the dub here tonight?
That's a great question, Jay. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right here, right now. Alexander Light. I'm taking you. I think we're gonna see some craziness between our front runners and Alexander. We saw it in the Cup race. Alexander prevailed. Well, I mean, really, the Limitless guys prevailed. That was a phenomenal on-track performance that we got to witness there with the Gen 6 cars with these two drivers. So, I mean, at Limitless, I'm just going to go with Alex. I think Alex is, he's got the experience, he's got the drive, he's got the speed, and that's who I'm taking. Who are you taking, Jay?
I mean, that was a great pick. I mean, I don't think you could pick him any better than that. But I mean, if I'm gonna go with anybody, I think you gotta go with the guy who's just been dominating this season. He's on the pole, James Pierce. This guy's got race pace for days. You gotta take him. If he's in the field, he's a threat. Every one of these guys are a threat. But I mean, James Pierce has just put amazing races together to start this season. I think he does it again.
Yeah, that is absolutely a great pick. Look, you can't go out and say, who we got without mentioning at least a little bit Logan here and the number 62 Porsche. I mean, flying in practice, gets a great qualifying run there. I mean, I feel like I have to shout him out as well. We're going to be watching this guy challenge the front runners in the first race that we've seen him. So I think that for sure we're going to be watching this 62 do some good stuff as well. Alex, I did pick you. I did. You appreciate the optimism. There's no optimism, my guy. This is you know what? I'll put you on my fantasy. That's what we should do. We should run a fantasy league out of this.
We'll just we'll put some odds on it. We'll see if we can get some in-chat betting. I don't know if that's allowed on the old YouTubes, but yeah, that'd be entertaining. And look who just went to the top here in the warm-up. Littleton is actually James Pierce's teammate. So we'll see. He's shown pace this season. I think he's a guy to watch out for as this race develops.
Yeah, for sure. He's got some of the best on the engineering side of the setups, on the philosophy side, he's just got to drive that thing to the checker flag. Jeremy Littleton can do it. We saw a great performance out of him at Belle Isle. I think one to watch here as well would be the 619 of Jeremy Littleton. As Rob Collier goes ahead, puts that Ferrari up top and warm up. We're looking at 10 seconds left before we go racing once again. Here on the Dega Boys channel, really excited to get this going as everybody now packs up their stuff and gets ready for the grid. Now it is time. We are starting to grid up here. Let's go ahead and pull up our grid for today. James Pierce starting on pole in the number 1 with Logan Raggioni on the outside of him starting in P2.
On your second row, it's the Limitless Esport teammates of Alexander Light in the 54 and Gregory Shaw in the 45.
Starting P5 tonight, that is Cameron Keeley in number 63 BMW with Jeremy Littleton on the outside of him and the number 619 Porsche.
And starting in the 4th row is a couple of Zip Tie Racing teammates of Javon Thompson in the 93 and Showtime Rob Collier in the 02.
Stephen Downton in the 09 starting P9 with his Ferrari, with Michael Oceans starting P10 in his number 11 BMW.
And starting P11, that's old Matty Yost in the number 70 with Keith Brubaker in the 22. Rounding out your top 12 starters here tonight at the Charlotte Roval.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody is gridded up, ready to go. We got the pace car out on the track. He will be coming in this time by, and we're going to be seeing some green flag racing here on the Dega Boys channel on YouTube. With the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues, we will be watching some of the best drivers in the business going at it tonight for 45 minutes. Nothing will fall short of exciting tonight with these guys out on track. We've got tons of different manufacturers, great drivers, and a lot of different strategies. These guys ready to go at it here in Charlotte tonight at the Roval.
The best iRacers in the business are side by side here on the final pace lap. We're going to get ready to go racing. We're going through turn 5 here. This is going to be a section of the track you're going to want to watch, as well as Action Corner, the backstretch chicane. We can get aggressive in there, get on the brakes heavy, but you don't want to make a mistake and miss the chicane. It's going to come down to this. We're ready to go racing, Tom.
Ready for it, baby. Some of the best drivers in the business, as we say, week in and week out. These guys know how to put on a show. Some of the best highlights you guys can watch right here on the Dega Boys channel. We're now going through NASCAR 1 and 2. We can watch Logan on the outside getting ready, warming up his tires. We got Stone Cold James Pierce on the inside, not even worrying about it. Limitless E guys behind him, getting ready to warm up those tires as well. Pace car getting ready to pull that hard left off of the track and get these guys going. Into the action corner, as we may say, we go with the pace car, still leading this field.
What a beautiful sight as these cars are getting ready for green. This is going to be wild. This is going to be absolutely wild. They're already testing the backstretch chicane out a little bit, seeing if they can find some runoff lane before we go to green. Lights are on these cars. This is a good looking sight here at Charlotte.
Through NASCAR 3 and 4 they go. The pace car, you can see it. They are going to be, or the pace car is going to be pulling off the racing surface. And we're going to be watching James Pierce in the number 1 Porsche leading this field to green. They got Logan on the outside of him. Alexander in P3. Gregory in P4. We're going to be watching these guys. Here they go. James Pierce pulls an early lead so far. Logan coming back to the rear bumper of James Pierce. Not going to be doing anything with that at the moment, but going into turn 1 now. We're going to be watching these two guys battling it out for the next 45 minutes. We've got the Limitless guys staying in their position so far. The top 5 still the same as the start of the race.
Yes, we got a pretty good battle up here between James Pierce and Raggioni. Is they're going to battle here into turn 5. They're going to follow up this hill. This is the elevation change. Really tough corner to rotate as James Pierce is getting hounded near full of that 62 car behind him. And he is going to close that gap as we head down the back here for the first time tonight.
Into NASCAR 1 they go. That's James Pierce and Logan Raggioni. These guys are going to be getting a draft off of each other, or Logan is going down the back straightaway. Might be able to suck up to the rear bumper of James as they now go into the action corner. Logan looking a little bit there, not going to be able to make anything of it, but coming off the exit of the back straight chicane, the 62 does inch a little closer to James Pierce. Through NASCAR 3 and 4 they go, and into the final chicane. We will watch these guys continue to duke it out for the first lap.
Oh, is James Pierce going to use a lot of grass entering this chicane as we're going to complete lap 1? That's going to be James Pierce, your leader here of lap 1, as he continues to be chased down by Raggioni. He is going to give him that bumper business as we go through this inside section through turns 1, 2, and 3. He's going to follow him in, close that car length gap down about a half a car length as we head down the backstretch here in the inside section, setting up for turn 5 here.
Going through turn 5, uphill, off canter they go, and into turn 6. Logan, he is pushing James Pierce really hard at the moment. We saw James get a little loose off of turn 3 there, and Logan capitalized on it. Now going into NASCAR 1 and into NASCAR 2, they're all over each other. The 62 coming up to the rear bumper of the 1 car. Now coming off at turn 4 and down the back straightaway they go. And they're looking, the 62's looking to the inside. We're side by side now. The action corner doesn't disappoint. James Pierce is in the wall. Logan is leading this race going into NASCAR 3 now. Here comes Alexander Light. He makes the pass on James Pierce. James Pierce is hurt. He's got to come in.
Wow, the action corner has lived up to the hype as Raggioni's leading as James Pierce has to make an unscheduled pit stop. Wow, what an action corner that was, as now Raggioni's actually losing time here to Alexander Light. He is that guy. Here he comes. He's charging back here. 2-3 car lengths back as he's getting hounded from behind by his teammate, Gregory Shaw, here on the intersection.
Unbelievable what we just witnessed here between the leaders. The 54 now, he finds himself in P2. He's going to try to get himself back up to the 62 of Logan Raggioni. Alexander Light does have help from his teammate behind. Maybe a little bump draft in action we might be able to see here with the GT3 cars. Something you don't see a lot. You only see that with the Cup cars. But these guys are willing to do whatever it takes to get Limitless Esports back up out on top to win a race. Alexander Light now looking at a difference of 1 second between himself and Logan Raggioni. Now going into the action corner, the 54 still pushing really hard as they go into NASCAR 3.
Yes, you gotta wonder how much damage does that 62 car have? He's losing a little bit of time here to Alexander Light, but he's kind of leveled it out here around that 1 second mark. Is he have damage that's affecting his ability to drive that car how he wants, as Alexander Light is closing the gap down to 0.8 of a second down here in the front stretch? Crossing the line, it's back up to 0.9 of a second as Raggioni is continuing to lead. What an amazing race he's putting together after that little bit of shenanigans there in the action corner.
Logan still continuing to lead this race. This is the closest 2-3 cars that we have on track right now, and this is the battle that we are watching right now for potentially the lead. Logan Raggioni in the number 62 Porsche. We've got Alexander Light in the number 54 BMW. And Gregory Shaw in the number 45 BMW. The Limitless guys still 2-3 at the moment, with Logan leading this field on lap 4.
As it looks like James Pierce is actually out of the race now. And Rob Collier just made a pit stop, so now he is back quite a bit. But right now, currently, it's still Raggioni leading over your Limitless guys, as the gap between all of them is pretty even here. All separated about by a second, a little over a second now, as Raggioni continues to lead, just running his race pace. We're only 5 minutes into this race, and is playing out exactly how Ragione wanted it. And now you've got the Limitless guys starting to get into their race pace. Can they run down Ragione here and challenge the lead? Are they saving enough fuel? What kind of strategies do we see from here?
I say we go back and look at this action corner shenanigans that we witnessed here live. Let's go ahead and look again what happened between these two drivers. Real slow on what's going on. Logan elects to go to the inside of James Pierce going into the bus stop, or excuse me, the back straightaway chicane. Makes a lot of contact with that number 1 Porsche and just upsets him a lot, hitting all the turtles he can and into the inside wall. The number 1 car goes. He gets it into almost a pancake right there, and that's where he gets all of his damage. Unfortunate for the number 1 car, as we now see him in the pits, out of this race, and the Logan Ragione in the number 62 Porsche leading this race now with a 1.8 second gap to second place of Alexander Light. Alexander Light has gotten a 1.3 second gap to his teammate Gregory Shaw. Right now, though, got a pretty close battle with Javon Thompson and Cameron Keeley as they come down the back straightaway now. This is your closest battle on track. Excuse me. We're on the front chicane here. Closest battle on track, Javon Thompson and Cameron Keeley.
Yeah, Javon Thompson qualified in P7. He's already moved up a position in this race. And now he's got his eyes set on Cameron Keeley, who has been very, very fast in this series at the beginning of this season. Continuing to hold on to this P5 position as he sees Javon Thompson actually closing that gap. He's cut this gap down another couple tenths here, down into turn 5. Can he close that gap even more in this uphill section? Off cantered, can he make any time up here as he runs a little bit different line, as he's going to continue about 3-4 car lengths back behind Cameron Keeley as we head towards the backstretch.
Now going into NASCAR 1, Javon, he's going to get a lot of bit of that draft in front of him from his buddy Cameron Keeley in that BMW, as Javon continues to track down Cameron in front of him. He's doing a great job. Maybe he lost a little bit of time there going through the bus stop. Sorry, chicane. Now going into NASCAR 3 and 4, Javon doing a great job to stay up with that number 63 BMW. As he's now going into the final corners, we're going to be able to see on the bottom right-hand side who pulled a faster lap time here. Javon just, let's see, a half a second quicker than Cameron Keeley. So he's going to catch him this lap. Let's see what Javon can do now, coming through 3 and 4.
As this gap is visually shrinking, as you can tell, Javon Thompson has closed this gap down to only maybe 1.5 car lengths now as they're going through turns 5 and 6. We got a little bit of lap traffic in front of him, giving him a lot of space, a lot of room. I'm not exactly sure who that was in that pink car there, but they gave him a lot of room. As now Javon Thompson, it might have been Cameron Keeley, grab some wall there. Javon's going to get a great run here off of NASCAR 2. Can he set something up here down the back into the action corner?
Coming down the back straightaway now, Javon, he is all over the rear bumper of that number 63 BMW. Now coming through this back straight, we'll just call it the action corner. Now, Javon coming to get a great exit there. He is still catching Cameron Keeley, as Cameron Keeley goes into a little bit of a defensive line there, not trying to give him the draft. And now coming into the final corners, Javon Thompson, he's looking all over the place, trying to get around the number 63 of Cameron Keeley. He doesn't get it done this time by. I may have jinxed him here just a little bit. He is faster that last time by, 0.055 to be exact. A little bit quicker than Cameron, but now coming back through 3 and 4, we're going to see if Javon can do anything more.
Yeah, as Javon has kind of leveled this gap out, hasn't really gained any more time to Cameron Keeley, as Cameron Keeley is just calm, cool, and collected behind the wheel, is not making any mistakes, not allowing Javon to take advantage here, as Javon's going to run right up against the wall there in 6, into 7. We're setting up here for NASCAR 1 and 2. Can we see this gap get shrunk as we're heading down the back, as Javon's going to use up a lot of track there, almost makes wall contact. as you see Keeley wrap that bottom blue line all the way around. He's going to leave a little bottom open. Here comes Javon heading towards Cameron Keeley here in the action corner.
No action has been taken there. Javon just waiting for the perfect time to overtake this BMW. Again, all over the rear bumper of Cameron Keeley's BMW here. Again, a little bit of a defensive line. The number 63 takes. Javon, though, he's ready for it. Oh, Cameron Keeley pits. Cameron Keeley pits. Javon stays out at the moment. That classifies him into P5. Cameron Keeley in his BMW coming down pit road at the moment. Let's go ahead and see what he elects to do here. Maybe just a little bit of fuel, maybe some tires. We'll see.
Maybe a splash and go, as this is a little earlier than I expected to see a pit stop. As they got that thing jacked up, they're going to get some 4 Mr. Feelgoods on that vehicle. Maybe this is the right strategy. We haven't seen an early pit strategy like this work out so far this season, but here we are at the Roval. Does it play out tonight as our pit sequences have begun? First to taker, Cameron Keeley.
There you have it. Cameron Keeley getting a pretty good flawless stop in there. He does get that damage fixed with his quick repair. So now he is all the way back down in P10. But will be able to make those positions back once again through pit stops. Now we got a good battle going on here. Stephen Downton and Keith Brubaker. These guys are the closest cars on track at the moment. Keith trying to put on something here to try and take over that P8 position. Right now watching Stephen Downton, who is coming under attack by Keith.
Yes, he's running a really good line there through the action corner. Was able to pin it right here on the blue line. He is making some great time. But look at this. Keith Brubaker's actually closing this gap down a little bit here on Stephen Downton. Separated by 1.6 seconds currently as we're heading for the front stretch chicane. This is where you can get aggressive on the brakes. Use a little bit of curb there on exit. Perfect job there through the final chicane there for Keith Brubaker as he sees that 09 car just in front of him. Can he go and attack him? He's 1.3 seconds back now as we head towards turn 2.
Maybe a lot not gonna happen here as we see Keith. You can see on the bottom right hand side of your screen there, you know, he a second slower, 2 second, 1.2, 1.3, 0.2 slower than the car in front of him. As a little bit of action here with Matt Yost getting a little off-track action going on. Go look at that real quick. Let's see what happened to Matt here. Ooh, maybe just a little bit further back we need to go. Oh, we got another one too. Rob Collier crashed. Oh, hit those turtles real good there. Lots of damage to that O2 car. Rob Collier still showing up in the pits. We got another crash here. Daniel Maddox. Number 10 Porsche. Let's see what happens to Daniel here. Oh, got real loose coming on a NASCAR 1. Almost taps the inside.
Great job not to hit the wall. That was amazing save.
Yeah, absolutely. Daniel now out on P12 at the moment. He had a little bit of damage early in the race. He's only he's trying to complete lap 3 at the moment. That number 10 Porsche.
It's a little surprising we haven't seen anybody come and match the pit strategy that you saw Cameron Keeley take here at the beginning of this race. Maybe other people are going to split in half, maybe pit right at the end. Do you think there's enough fuel save here to make it to the end of this race? I feel like if you were going to do that, you'd be having to do it from the very beginning of this run. But who knows? Last week surprised us all at Belle Isle. We did not expect Dan Tenorio to do what he did to win that race with the fuel strategy he employed. as we got a battle here on track. This is Maddox and Cameron Keeley trying to rebound after this pit stop, trying to make quick work of these new tires as he sends it in here to the final chicane. Oh, he might have missed it a little bit. Grabs a lot of curb on exit, but he clears. Keith Brubaker moving himself up to P8 as he's going to run down Steven Doughton now.
Keeley on the run back to the front now in that BMW. He's got his sights set on Steven Doughton at the moment. After that, they got a big gap between himself and Michael Oceans. That is of 16 seconds. So a lot of work cut out for Cameron here as he continues his run back to the front. But right in front of him right now, Steven Doughton, he is going to be coming under attack by Cameron Keeley. Something happened here to Steven. There he is. Oh, Keith crashed. Oh, big damage.
Ooh, looked like a little bit of a stack up there going into NASCAR 1. There goes the tailpiece.
And we're going to have to watch that again. Let's see what happened to Keith. Watching Keith Brubaker here. Oh. That's what happened.
Connection issues maybe there for Steven Doughton. He didn't expect him to be there. Unfortunate.
Got another one here. Matt Yost making some contact with the wall. Oh. Darn. Little loosey-goosey there for Matt Yost not being able to save it. Makes contact with the inside wall. Lots of damage to that Ferrari. As now we see Keith Brubaker on pit road. Steven Doughton also on pit road, getting some tires on that thing.
Now this track has been very challenging for these drivers tonight. Really too tough track to tame, as now you see your leader go by Matt Yost there. That is still Ragioni as he continues to lead. He's got this gap up to 5.2 seconds over Alexander Light. He is stretching it out on the field right now, just putting together a display as he's going to head towards NASCAR 1 here, or at NASCAR 3, excuse me, and set up for this backstretch. He uses a lot of track there on the entrance to that corner, nearly makes wall contact, but he is flying right now, putting together a great race up here in the front, 17 and a half minutes in.
Absolutely, a great run so far by Logan Ragioni as he continues to increase that gap to P2, of which is Alexander Light. You can see him coming into the action corner now. And then number 54, Limitless car. And then Gregory Shaw coming into the action corner now. He's got his teammate right in front of him. We got Jeremy Littleton, though. He's making his way back up to Gregory Shaw here. Go a little bit more in depth on what's going on. Just a little bit slower than Shaw at the moment. Gregory Shaw coming down pit road. Here's the pit cycle for the 45 BMW.
Here it is, lap 15, going to make his pit stop. Let's see if he also takes tires like Cameron Keeley. It'll also be interesting to see where he blends in with Cameron Keeley as well.
Yeah, this is a big moment right here. We're going to stay with Gregory Shaw as he comes through the pits and gets some fuel, gets some tires. No tires. No tires for Gregory.
Wow, a little splash and go strategy.
Yep, there he goes. Cameron Keeley now 39 seconds behind Gregory Shaw. He's going to get a huge jump on Cameron here. Cameron's not going to be able to do anything. He's going to have to just push really hard to get back up to the rear bumper of this car. Excuse me, we just had a, we just had our circuit here. He's only 10.5 seconds behind.
Wow. Wow, the fuel strategy, the splash and go might be the strategy to call tonight. Let's see if these tires that Cameron Keeley have that are a little fresher than Gregory Shaw come to play in the end of this race, and he's able to run him down, as he is currently 11 seconds behind Gregory Shaw.
We'll be able to see what kind of lap times these guys are going to be able to put down here, especially between Cameron Keeley and Gregory Shaw. The new tires, do they mean anything? Is it going to be worth it to take tires? We're going to find out with Cameron Keeley and Gregory Shaw, and the 45 BMW and the 63 BMW. As Cameron now goes into NASCAR 3 and NASCAR 4 coming back onto the front straightaway, the front chicane there. Final few sets of corners. We'll see what lap times we can get out of these guys.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if these leaders are paying attention or keeping track of what these guys did for pit strategy and seeing which one is going to prevail. Because right now, it looks like the splash and go is working here for Gregory Shaw, as he is actually closing up that gap to Michael Oceans for that P5 position right now. He's a second, 1.1 seconds behind as he's closing that gap down here, coming through the uphill section and downhill section, going up to NASCAR 3, heading for the backstretch. Gregory Shaw's got this down to 1.1 seconds. Can he close that gap and move into a P5 position?
Yeah, this is going to get very, very interesting. Gregory Shaw now going on the offensive to try and get around Michael Oceans, but Cameron Keeley also on the offensive, but he's got new tires. He's got nobody in front of him. He's got everything that he needs right now. The only thing that is not happening is that 45 and the number 11 battling it out right now. Just so far, Gregory chilling right behind Michael Oceans. Maybe a little bit of battling here that we might be able to see in the upcoming laps as we now see the number 45 cross the start-finish line. Gregory Shaw, he goes a half a second quicker than Michael Oceans. We're going to be seeing that number... 63 car of Cameron Keeley. He crosses the start-finish line, and he is faster than Shaw. He's 4/10 quicker than Shaw, almost 5/10. So this is big news right here. Cameron Keeley, he's making those tires work for him. He also doesn't have anybody in front of him. He's got no traffic around him, as does Gregory. Or Gregory does, but really big news here is we're going side by side now. Michael Oceans relents that position to Gregory Shaw. Gregory Shaw now back up to P5.
Wow, what a great show of sportsmanship by Oceans there. Gregory Shaw knew he needed to make that pass to get that clean air. He's got 18 seconds in front of him to the next guy. So, 18 seconds. So he's got a lot of clean air in front of him. He can get into his race pace again as Michael Oceans looked like he was going to challenge him there again in that action corner. Thought better of it. He's going to fall back in line here behind Shaw. Shaw's back up to P5. Wow, can he make this strategy work? As you see Cameron Keeley, he cut another 1.3 seconds out of that gap this time by. Let's see if he can close that gap even more as this run continues. We're closing in on halfway point.
So Shaw doing a great job right there. 3/10 quicker than the guy in front of him. 1.4 seconds quicker than Oceans. Let's see what Keeley does. 1 second quicker than Oceans. Or excuse me, Shaw. That's a second quicker than Shaw. Cameron Keeley is on an absolute tear right now. He is just pushing as hard as he can, and he is making up a lot of time to Gregory Shaw. That is his direct competitor right now. Cameron Keeley, Gregory Shaw, and Cameron Keeley's getting it done right now.
Yeah, he's just putting down some heaters right now, trying to close this gap. He's got a lot of open track in front of him, but now Gregory Shaw has Brubaker, who's back on track in front of him. Does he make an aggressive move here into the action corner? No, he's going to follow in line here, as now Brubaker's going to go wide. Shaw's going to be able to easily overtake this, maybe, as they're going to go side by side here, off into NASCAR 3 and into NASCAR 4, as we see Javon Thompson now on pit lane. Let's see what he does with his strategy.
Javon Thompson, he is running P4 at the moment, as now we're going to be seeing some pit cycles. Gregory Shaw, he is going to overtake Javon Thompson. Javon Thompson, he is taking some tires. Gregory Shaw passes him. Michael Ocean passes him. Cameron Keeley, he is next up on board. He gets that done. Cameron Keeley now back up to P6. As he started P5 for the race, Javon Thompson still up in the air trying to get some tires here as you see him take off now. Gregory Shaw, he's got some company behind him. He's got Oceans, who is a little bit slower at the moment, but Keeley, he's working his way 6/10 quicker than Gregory Shaw last time by.
Yes, Cameron Keeley is flying. He's got this gap to Oceans down to 3.4, and it is closing rapidly. as now we see Oceans here into NASCAR 1 and 2. Gonna continue his mission of, he still hasn't made a pit stop, but continuing his race strategy here as he's heading towards the action corner. And now Cameron Keeley has got it down to 2.7 seconds. He is flying right now, knows he's got to get by this 11 car quick and continue his charge back towards the front and challenge Gregory Shaw, who is his direct competitor right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Cameron Keeley, like we said at the beginning, he has his work cut out for him, but he is executing right now. He is putting in the lap times, he is putting in the consistency, and he doesn't have a lot of people in front of him. Not a lot to worry about at the moment. So now he crosses the start-finish line. Keeley goes 3.4 seconds quicker than Oceans. 3.4 seconds quicker. That is how fast he is catching him. We should see Cameron Keeley
pitting. Your leader.
Here he is. He's got a huge gap now to P3. Alexander Light does take the lead. Let's go ahead and see what Logan does in terms of tires, or tires and fuel, or just fuel. He's taking tires.
He's going tires. I think this opens up the playbook here for Limitless with Alexander Light. Maybe he does what his teammate did and goes fuel only. Maybe that's the difference in this race. We saw the gap that you can build with a fuel only stop, as now we see Ragioni exiting pit lane now. He's going to fall back into relative third place. See what he can do on these new fresh tires.
4 seconds behind Jeremy Littleton at the moment. Jeremy Littleton just right up in front of him as Alexander Light now coming down the back straightaway into the action corner. This is going to be a big deal for Alexander. Does he just take fuel only? What does he do? Does he try to keep that P1 position? I think it's absolutely in the question to just take fuel and not tires to keep the lead of this race as he continues to not pit this time by. Alexander Light elects to go one more time around. We're going to see a little battle here between Logan and Jeremy. Not at the moment, excuse me, sorry. They still got a 3-second gap here, but Cameron Keeley now working over Michael Oceans.
Yes, here comes Cameron Keeley. And to note, Gregory Shaw actually lost 13 seconds to Ragioni through that pit sequence. But here comes Cameron Keeley closing this gap on Michael Oceans here in NASCAR 2, heading for the backstretch. As Cameron Keeley is giving him a little bit of that bumper business. Does he make a move here in the action corner? Looking to the inside. Oceans is going to give him the space. Nice overtake here by Cameron Keeley. Did exactly what he needed to do. He's cleared himself up into P5 now ahead of Michael Oceans.
That was a long time coming there. Cameron Keeley does get it done. Michael Oceans might be looking at a pit stop now, but he doesn't take it this time by. Now Cameron Keeley, he's got his sights set on Gregory Shaw. 8 seconds in front of him. That gap was originally 11 seconds, so he's done some work so far. We're 28 minutes into this race out of a 45-minute race.
Yeah, as it brings the question, what is Alexander Light thinking with his strategy? Has he been saving fuel this whole time? Does he attempt this no pit stop strategy where he just tries to stretch it and make it on fuel? Does he go fuel only? Does he match your leader and put tires on? This strategy is crazy. We still have Littleton out there. He hasn't made a pit stop either. What is he thinking there in the Twisted camp? Do they have a strategy or a magic trick underneath their sleeve tonight to find a way to cycle to the lead of this race? As he is currently 19 seconds behind your race leader Light and 1.6 seconds ahead of Ragioni, who is closing that gap rapidly here on Littleton.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a great battle here between these two drivers. That's Daniel Maddox right there, giving these guys lots of space, lots of respect as they go through turns 3 and 4 and into 5 now. Jeremy Littleton going up the hill, and here comes Logan as well. These guys make it through this corner very well. Off-cantered uphill turn. Very hard corner if you guys have ever been on track to do that. That's one of the most difficult parts of this track right there. And they get through it flawlessly as they're not going through NASCAR 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Maybe Logan could get a little bit of a draft here to help him in his quest to get back up to P2.
Yes, as your leader, Alexander Light, is on pit lane as Ragioni closes to half a second behind. Let's see what Alexander Light does here. This is a big moment in this race for your race leader, strategy-wise.
Down pit road, Alexander Light goes. Let's see what he elects to do. Into the pit box. The 54 car is in the number 4 stall. It doesn't look like he's going to hang on to that P1 position. Fuel only for the 54. Put tires on it, Alex. As he elects to go, just fuel only. He's going to come back out in that P3 position. This is a great battle here between these two guys. This is for the lead of the race. Going into turn 5 uphill. These guys are almost side by side. Logan backs out of it. As now Jeremy, he's holding on to that P1 position. Logan working really hard to try to get around that 619. Coming on to NASCAR 1 and through 2. They'll be coming down the back straightaway. Bump drafting, maybe side by side.
As here comes the 62 of Regioni. He's to the inside here of Jeremy Littleton. As he's going to clear him here before they even get to the action corner. Oh, he grabs a lot of curb. Oh, he might have missed the corner a little bit there. That's going to allow Littleton to cross him over. Hitting for NASCAR 3 and 4. Battle for the lead is intensifying. What kind of damage happened to the 62 car as he ate the turtle on the entrance to the action corner? Littleton's going to hold on to the lead here on lap 24. Coming to get lap 25 started.
Coming across start-finish line now. Jeremy Littleton does lead that lap now going into turn 1. The 62's going to try to go all over his rear bumper, try to make a mistake, but it's not going to happen. Going through turn 2 now. Jeremy Littleton holding on very strong to the P1 position as they're trying to go side by side. Logan thinks better of it, and now through turns 4 down this little straightaway. This is where the 619 is going to come under attack. They're going to go through turn 5 now. These guys trying to keep it straight. They do. Into turn 6 now. The 619 holding on to that P1 position. Looks like Logan's going to have to set something up for the action corner as they're now going on a NASCAR 1. And through turn 2, they get real close to the wall. Side by side now through NASCAR 1 and 2. Logan's going to take over that position by the exit.
Wow, what a move there by Regioni. He is so good at getting that exit there off that corner into NASCAR 1. Does Littleton have anything to come back at him as he grabs a lot of curb again? It's not going to affect him this time as he's going to actually leg Jeremy Littleton here off into NASCAR 3 and 4. What an overtake there by Regioni as he is now your leader of this race again. Here, 32 minutes into this race. Can he hang on for this victory as he is now your leader?
What a great battle we just witnessed between the 62 and 619 as Logan now already has a second gap between himself and second place. He's already coming up to Michael Oceans in the P7 position. He's already got P8 lapped. He's looking to make it up to P7. That's Michael Oceans in front of him. Alexander Light still chilling out in P3 at the moment. They've got a 8-second gap between second and third. And Alexander's still working on that. Gregory Shaw still keeping ahead of Cameron Keeley. That is still an 8-second gap, like what we talked about at the beginning. And Gregory Shaw really holding on to that P4 position as we speak. Jeremy Littleton, your only guy in the top 5 to not make a pit stop.
Exactly. This just makes you wonder what his strategy is. Has he saved fuel this whole race? Is he going to make it to the end, or is he going to pit at the last possible second and just put a little bit of fuel in it and go? This is crazy. Your battle for the podium is still hot and ready to be taken by anybody. Can Littleton make it to the end of the race? Does Shaw or Keeley battle it out for that potential podium position as well? This race has got a lot still to unfold here as we got 11 minutes remaining in this race as Regioni continues to lead as he just put Michael Oceans a lap down.
Everybody up to 6th place is up on the lead lap. Everybody 7th and down. 1 lap down at the moment. Logan leading this field in that number 62 Porsche. So you now see the 619 trying to make that pass on the 11. Doesn't make it happen there. Coming through 6 now as Jeremy Littleton now's got a little bit more. That's Matt Yost right there. But he gets it to the inside of Michael Oceans. He makes that pass happen going into NASCAR 1. Alexander Light now, he is, though, gaining some time on Littleton. 0.3 of a lap last time by. as these guys continue to run without making a pit stop. Jeremy Littleton maybe, possibly makes a pit stop this time by.
Yes, this strategy here for Littleton is bold. If he can pull it off, this would be an amazing race for him to not have a pit stop, save enough fuel to withstand. As we got 10 minutes remaining, he's still not electing to pit. But you can see the gap between him and Alexander Light is shrinking. Alexander Light has got this down to 7.3 seconds now, as he is on the absolute charge to get back up to that P2 position, as he has no danger of being passed from behind by his teammate, as he has a pretty sizable gap there to his teammate, 21 seconds, as well as Cameron Keeley, who's leveled it out underneath the 8-second, now back up to 8 seconds there to P5. This race up here is getting exciting. I mean, I don't know how this is going to shake out. Whose strategy is going to prevail here towards the end of this race?
We got a couple of crashes here. Daniel Maddox putting that number 10 car through the ringer. Let's see what happened here to him. Now going on in NASCAR 1. 10 car gets loose once again. Doesn't make contact with the wall. Very close. Matt Yost also having a little bit of issues here in that number 70 Ferrari. He's coming off a NASCAR 4 into the final set of corners here. Oh! Got a little loose. Just kissed the wall a little bit. As you can see now, Logan crossing the start-finish line. That is the completion of lap 29. We're on lap 30, I believe.
As
or maybe
Littleton just made his pit stop, actually. He is on pit lane. Let's see what he takes. If he goes tires or fuel only, or both.
So that'll put Alexander Light back up to P2. We'll see where he comes out with Gregory Shaw. No tires for the 619, just fuel. And he's coming back out on track. Here's Gregory Shaw in P4. He's coming into turn 1 now as Jeremy Littleton takes back to the track. He's already in turn 3. Gregory Shaw coming off of turn 2 right there. This might be one that'll be really close between these two drivers for the final podium position. Gregory Shaw pushing really hard right now to try to get that P3 position. Cameron Keeley has worked up a half a second, closer to Gregory Shaw in that number 63 BMW. That's going to be a hard-fought battle if Cameron can get that car back up to the front. Or back up to the rear bumper of Gregory Shaw, as Gregory Shaw now continues to hunt down Jeremy Littleton.
What a fantastic strategy call here for Jeremy Littleton. He was battling for the lead, has to make a pit stop fuel only, and he comes back out in a podium position. And now he has a 4.6 second gap right now to Gregory Shaw. This battle for the final podium spot is heating up here with 7 minutes to go here at the Charlotte Roval. Can Gregory Shaw put together a drive here at the end and close that gap down to Jeremy Littleton and take over that final podium position tonight?
Gregory Shaw does have some work cut out for him. 4.4 seconds in front of him. That is the 619 of Jeremy Littleton. He's going to try to do as much as he can to try to get that car back to the podium and get it limitless. A double podium once again. Let's see what happened here real quick. Daniel Maddox skipping the back straight chicane here. The action corner. He's got to come to a complete stop and go again. Go back to Gregory. Gregory makes a little contact with that inside wall there. Not a lot. But still on his hunt to chase down Jeremy Littleton.
That's going to be a tough ask from a little over 4 seconds behind Littleton. This is going to be a big, hard-fought challenge. If he can do it, what a drive that would be, as he's going to head towards the action corner now. We got just under 5 minutes remaining. The Dega Boys 5 minutes remaining in this race, as he's going to continue his charge here through NASCAR 3 and 4. 4.2 seconds behind Jeremy Littleton. That is for third, your final podium position. Can he run him down as he's closing the gap? As Oceans may have had a little issue here.
Little issues here with Michael. He toes back to the pit. Let's see what happened real quick with Michael as he's coming through the final corners here, crossing the start-finish line and into turn 1. This was his problem area. Maybe he saw a big old spider in his car and said, nope, I'm out of here. As we go back live with Gregory Shaw and his quest to get back up to Jeremy Littleton. He's got a little bit of traffic in front of him. That looks like it's Stephen Downton there. It is. He lets the 45 go by. He's going to lose a little bit of time there to Jeremy. About a second, actually, he's going to lose to Littleton. Now coming through NASCAR 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway.
Yeah, it's just a handful of laps remaining as Shaw actually lost a good amount of time there to Littleton. He's already back up to 5.6 seconds, so he's not gaining, he's losing now. As now you see Cameron Keeley, he's got that gap down under 6 seconds now. So that battle for P4 could be heating up as well here towards the end of the race. Just a handful of laps remaining. Who is going to prevail here and get to the podium position?
It's going to be a great battle for that final podium position. Jeremy Littleton trying to hold on to that P3 with Gregory Shaw behind him. You can see on the track map on the top right-hand part of your screen, number 3 is coming through turn 5 now, or turn 4, excuse me, as now P4 coming through turn 4, P5 coming through turn 3. They're all real close there, coming through the infield section. Is Gregory Shaw still hunting? Oh, he makes contact with the inside wall once again. That's not what he needed at all.
Yeah, that's not going to help in the quest to go run down Jeremy Littleton, and it has allowed Cameron Keeley to cut this gap down to 4 seconds now. Cameron Keeley is on a tear. He knows he's got a handful of laps remaining. He is searching, trying to find pace in that car as he's got it down to 3.9 seconds as Gregory Shaw misses the action corner. He missed the chicane. Oh, big news. As now we're going to see how fast Cameron Keeley can close this gap. He's down to 3.1 seconds now.
It is all falling apart for this 45 car of Gregory Shaw. This is everything that he did not want. Contact with the wall, missing the chicane. Now he's got Cameron Keeley about to be breathing down his neck. He is 2.72 seconds behind him, and it just continues to decrease the gap between 4th and 5th, while 3rd place continues to drive away from Gregory. This is going to get interesting, ladies and gentlemen, for this P4 position. Cameron Keeley being one of the very first people to come down pit road and take some fuel. No tires. No tires for no tires for Gregory Shaw. Cameron Keeley does take tires. He's on them fresh tires, and he's looking to get back to Gregory Shaw in that P4 position. Coming on to NASCAR 1 now and through turn 2, we're going to be seeing them battling it out as the P5 has got around Stephen Downton.
Yeah, as there is now no cars in between your 4th and 5th place drivers. It's down to 2 seconds. How aggressive is Cameron Keeley here in these closing laps? On the brakes hard. He's going to use a lot of curve. He's going to close this gap down a little bit closer. Under 2 seconds now through NASCAR 3 and 4. He's got maybe 2 more laps to go. Can he run down Gregory Shaw for a P4 position? Show that his early pit strategy was the right call, as he's going to go through the final chicane now and start lap 34 for these guys.
Let's see on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, Cameron Keeley 1 second quicker than Gregory Shaw as he continues to run him down. We're down to 1.8 seconds now, and it's just continuing to decrease. We might have got a little bit of action there between Gregory Shaw and Daniel Maddox. Maddox now, he is out of this race. Back to the pits he goes, as now the 45 is coming under attack by the 63 through turns 5 now, and into turn 6. The 45 goes wide once again. Here comes Cameron Keeley in the number 63 BMW. These guys are going to duke it out, going down the back straightaway. They're into NASCAR 1 now.
going through NASCAR 1, headed for NASCAR 2. It's 0.3 of a second. You can see the gap right there. 2 car lengths separate 4th and 5th. Gregory Shaw, as he go defensive, as now Cameron Keeley's using the draft. He's looking to the inside. He's going to draw right up to the bumper here of Gregory Shaw. Shaw missed the corner. He grabs a lot of curb. Does that affect him at all here on the exit into turns 3 and 4? NASCAR turns 3 and 4. No, he's going to lose a little bit of time here.
Oh, we're 44 minutes left, Jay. This might be white flag lap as these guys continue to duke it out now going into the final corner. Here comes Cameron Keeley. It is not a white flag lap. This is the white flag lap. These guys got one more chance to try to take over that P4 position with Cameron Keeley behind the wheel.
Yeah, what a battle. Oh, Shaw grabs a wall there. Here comes the numbers. Oh, my goodness, so much going on. Cameron Keeley takes over P4. Wow, what a battle. He took it over. As you can see, your leader going through the chicane right now. That is your race winner, Logan Ragioni. Is he taking the white flag this time by? No, that is the official race. Your winner, Ragioni. What a drive.
Gregory Shaw looks like he lost a lot more time to Cameron Keeley as we now see Alexander Light coming in through the final corners of this race. And he's going to secure that P2 position. Here's Jeremy Littleton now going into NASCAR 3. He is in your P3 position as he continues to have a little bit of issues there. We'll go back here. Oh, no, Gregory Shaw making contact with the wall. Oh, he's got lots of damage to that right rear wheel. He's going to try to limp that car back home to secure a P5 finish for Limitless. Jeremy Littleton does cross the line, P3. Cameron Keeley, P4. Gregory Shaw coming through the final corners now with lots of damage to that car, finishing P5. Real quick, let's go look, before we bring up everybody else, what's happened to this 45 car coming into the action corner here. Lots of curbs. Lots of curbs. Looks like that right rear.
He was having some trouble there getting into those, into the action corner. The last couple laps has really allowed Cameron Keeley to close the gap. Bit him right there on the last lap, grabbed the turtles, and took a little bit of aerial action there.
Absolutely. Your race winner, though, Logan Ragioni. Let's go ahead and bring up Jeremy Littleton, your P3 finisher for tonight. And he is not here. Jeremy, if you can hear me, we're calling you out. Let's see. Jeremy. Where you at? All right.
Well, we do have Alexander Light. Maybe we can get him quick, and then maybe we can get Jeremy up here in the chat here in a second.
All right, Alexander Light, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do, boys. How's it going?
Alexander, what a great race you ran. A little bit of strategy happening there during the middle part of the race where we saw Logan take some tires there. And we saw you not take tires, but not really work out in terms of time for you. But nonetheless, you get ahead of Jeremy Littleton after his pit stop, and you hold on to that P2 finish. What did you need to get back up to Logan there?
Talent. That's the one thing I needed. He came in just super fast. I mean, the fact that I saw him put a time up there with James in qualifying, I was like, yeah, we're going to do the best we can, but I don't have hope. We were keeping up with him there in the opening 10 laps or so, and then something just clicked for him, and he started putting low 116s. The closest I could get was a 16.5, and that I only hit that maybe once or twice throughout the night. But yeah, it was just a really good run for him. He's super consistent, super fast. We had pace, but it wasn't that kind of pace that he had, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, though, you still had a phenomenal race in that number 54 Limitless BMW. What were your preparations coming into this race? Because we know that the Charlotte Roval can be a little crazy sometimes with not only pit strategies, but just, you know, some craziness happening on track. What was your goal for tonight, getting through turn one on that opening lap?
Well, in terms of preparation, thankfully we just came here last month in the Gen 6 series. So I had a little bit of experience with this. We ran a recruitment race back in, I think it was like August or something, in the GT3s. Now it wasn't this setup specifically; it was the one with the death chicane on the back stretch.
Yeah.
But thankfully, most everything translated, so I was able to kind of just recall that, try and find a setup the best fit, or fine tune things to see what worked. But going into turn one, I was just really hoping that we were going to be able to single file out there like we kind of did in the front. We were able to survive. I saw Cameron make a dive into the chicane on the start, and I got a little scared. And then I saw he ran it a bit wide, so I was like, okay, we're going to be good. We're going to be able to survive turn one.
Absolutely. Well, look, congratulations on your P2 finish. Jay, that's all I got for Alex here. What do you got for him?
Yeah, I know you're not going to say it. You're all humble in this interview, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think you're the Roval master, man. You've shown it in the Gen 6 stuff. You show it again tonight. Amazing strategy. Great race you put together finishing P2. Who do you have to thank for this performance tonight?
Just same as usual. My team, Limitless Esports, for being there for us and supporting us in everything we do. Shout out to Reve Supermarket for being one of our main sponsors. Also, SimWrap for supplying our schemes, our liveries for Limitless, as well as Hilton and Get Wet Sports. Thanks to all of our sponsors for helping us out.
Absolutely. Again, congratulations on your P2 finish, Alexander. Thank you for coming out tonight. We hope to see you in the next one.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
That was your P2 finisher for tonight. We do have Jeremy Littleton back up in here. Let's go back to our P3 finisher of Jeremy. Bring him down here. Jeremy, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
I'm here.
Jeremy, what a great run you had tonight in that number 619 Porsche. Running very well up front with everybody else. You had a little bit of a different strategy, though. You waited and waited and waited to come down pit lane to get that extra fuel you needed to finish the race. Were you planning that out from the beginning, or was that just a call that you made?
Well, I went heavy on start. The past few weeks in these races, we've had a yellow. Tonight we didn't. So, it eventually got down to, 3, 2, 1, and I had to finally pit. But it made my lap fast. I was watching Gregory's times because I knew I had pitted like 15 laps after him. So I was hoping I was going to be able to jump him, and I did by about 5 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a lot of jumping around with pit strategies. Some of them not working out for others, but some of them doing very well for others. It didn't really work out for you, though. I just got to say, congratulations on your P3 finish. That's all I got for Jeremy here. Jay, what do you got for him?
Yeah, Jeremy, what an amazing race you put together. The strategy was just perfect. You had a great battle there at the beginning of the race, or towards the end of the race there with Logan. Just an amazing job there, being able to retake the lead, hold the lead, and then ultimately coming on P3. Who do you have to thank for your performance tonight?
That would be all James. He gave me a setup right before the race. I've never raced here before, and he helped lines talking me through the race. So it's all James.
Awesome. That's a good shout out right there. Shout out your teammates. A great run, really, by both of you guys. A little bit of unfortunate circumstances happening to James here at the beginning of the race, but nonetheless, Jeremy coming out to still represent with a P3 finish. Congratulations again there, Jeremy, and thank you for coming out. We hope to see you in the next one.
Thanks.
All right, everybody, that was Jeremy, your P3 finisher. Let's go ahead and bring down our race winner, Logan Raggioni, the number 62 Porsche. Logan, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, got a copy.
Logan, what a fantastic race you ran. Pretty much a clinic that you did. We saw a little bit of shenanigans there in the beginning between you and James. What's your side of the story there?
Yeah, I do want to apologize to James right now for that. I see it as a racing incident, but definitely could have been avoided from my end. I went for the dive bomb, got a little too deep. I think James tried to stick it around the outside and stay side by side. and he just got on the curb and lost it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really cool battle that we were seeing between you guys up here in the booth. Just a little bit unfortunate there between you two at the beginning stages of this race, but really, what did you what did you bring a rocket ship tonight? Is that what you did?
I don't know, man. I do want to give a big thanks to SK for putting me on the setup, telling me to run the Indy setup because it correlates pretty well with this track. I probably wouldn't have been. I would have been probably a couple tenths off my pace if it wasn't for him.
Wow. So you're running an Indianapolis road course setup here at Charlotte.
Yep.
Wow. No adjustments, just straight up Indy road course.
Little brake bias tweak, more rearward to get a little bit of turning, but besides that, beautiful.
There you go. There you have it. Look, all you need is just a little bit of setup change from Indianapolis road course. You're set. I mean, look at what Logan did. All right. Hey, well, look, I just want to say congratulations on your race win. That was an awesome clinic that you just put on, showing some real muscles out there. But look, Jay, that's all I got for Logan here. What do you got for him?
Yeah, what a race that you put on. I mean, you showed pace in this race from practice into qualifying, and then really showed that race pace, showed your muscle on the field tonight. Great driving ability, great race that you put together strategy-wise, some good battles there at the beginning and then towards the end of the race. But is there anybody else you want to thank for your performance tonight?
Oh, sorry about that. I lost connection. I'm on my phone now.
I was just going to say, what an amazing race you put together strategy-wise, battles that you put on. You really flexed your muscles from the beginning of the day. Is there anybody else you want to thank for your performance here tonight?
Not really, man. Me, myself, and I showed up to an open practice session yesterday and was told that there was going to be a race tomorrow. And I said I'd be here, and I showed up ready to roll.
Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Well, congratulations on your race win here tonight, Logan. Thanks for coming out, really. I mean, this is your first outing here. We hope you stick around. We definitely love to talk to you more here, Logan. And we hope to see you in the next one.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have Long Beach, but I will be around for Laguna.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll count on it. I'm telling you, I'll be calling you out.
All right, I promise.
Okay. All right, Logan. Thanks again, and we hope to see you.
See ya.
All right, Jay. That right there are our top 3 finishers for tonight. Why don't you just go ahead, go into a little bit of a, I don't know. Let's just go into a little race overview of what happened tonight.
Yeah, my patented monologue here at the end of these races. Here we are at the Charlotte Roval, the best iRacers in the business here in GT3 racing. Just an amazing race again, like we always see from this series. We saw a little bit of battle there at the beginning. Qualifying was tight. It has James Pierce as well as Logan Raggioni. They put on a well of a battle there at the beginning. Raggioni ended up prevailing from that battle. And then we saw pit strategies galore. We saw Gregory Shaw come in for fuel only. We saw Jeremy Littleton pit later in the race for fuel only. We saw some tire takers there in the middle of the strategies as well. But ultimately, the battle was all but for naught because Raggioni just put together an amazing race, had a huge lead on the field at the end of this one, and takes the victory here at the Roval. And all the humbleness from these drivers in their interviews. These guys are some great race car drivers, and they proved it here tonight. Maybe a little humble with their interviews, but what an amazing race we saw tonight.
Absolutely, it was another amazing race here on the Dega Boys Broadcasting Network, here with the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues. If you guys want to race in this league, hit us up. We'll give you guys all the information you guys need to come in and race with the best drivers in the business week in and week out. No doubt about it. Make sure you guys go check out all of our other videos that we got on our channel. We've got lots of things for you guys to watch. Lots of cool stuff for you guys to do. Jay works really hard on this channel with all the videos coming out. Crash compilations. Whatever is your fix, we got it. We have got it here on the Dega Boys channel. We've got lots of cool stuff coming up in the making. I'll let Jay talk about our podcast here and some upcoming stuff we got going on.
Yeah, you guys have to tune in on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the Full Send Half Mast podcast. We are going to be doing our official Dega Boys, the only driver grading scale that even matters on the internet. Here with the Dega Boys, we're going to be grading all of your drivers, all your favorite drivers, the ones you don't like even. We're going to be giving them a grade for how their 2023 season went, the only accurate grading system on the internet for NASCAR. So make sure to tune in for that. Maybe some special guests. I don't want to hint too much there, but make sure to tune in for that. It's going to be some great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And make sure you guys stay tuned. Like I said earlier, we've got lots of cool stuff in the pipeline. You know what? I'll just drop the date, April of 2024, and make sure you guys stick around. We got some cool stuff coming up. So, I really wish I could talk about it, but I know I can't. So we're just going to chill with that a little bit. But nonetheless, make sure you guys check out our channel. We got membership programs for you guys. You guys want early access to videos? Anything that Jay makes, it's all going to be visible to you guys if you want to be a part of that. It's lots of cool, fun stuff. You guys get sweet badges for your names. You guys get really cool emblems that you guys get to use in the chat. Make sure you guys go check out our membership program. There's levels for everybody. So, and all of those funds goes and helps build our channel. You guys will be the stepping stones to what will be the greatest racing hub or motorsports hub, news hub, whatever you want to call it. That's going to be us in 5 years. Thanks to you guys and all the support you guys gave to us. Thank you to everybody who came out, liked, commented, and subscribed. It means a lot to us. Make sure you guys go check out some of our affiliate channels. The King of Camo. If you guys like anything modification-wise to firearms, you guys like anything from mild to wild, Duracoat, Cerakote, paint jobs, whatever you guys like, go check them out. Go look them up. They got a sweet business over here in Georgia. And they could do anything that you guys like. They're actually gaining some pretty cool traction, if you ask me. Probably, you know, they got some big name streamers they're doing work for as well. So go check them out. Go give them a like, comment, and a subscribe. Tell them the Dega Boy sent you. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to them as well. So thank you for doing that. Thank you again for coming out tonight. Again for
I got one more thing to say before we go out of here. We know it's the holiday season coming up, so make sure to go check out our merch store. Buy your friends, your family, your significant other, go buy them a shirt, a hat, a hoodie. Go buy your festive Dega Boys merch today.
What just
buy
got
a
released?
Starter pack of Dubby.
what just got released too?
We have festive stuff. You can buy a Dega Boy stocking to put under your mantle at your Christmas holiday setup in your house. You can get a Santa hat even. If you want to be the ultimate Santa at your next friend's white elephant gift party, get the dang Dega Boys Santa hat and rep it for the boys, rep it for the brand. And make sure, if you're looking for a great gift, go buy some Dubby, get the starter pack, give it to your bestest of friend. Try it out. Some great stuff. Go check out. All those links are in the description below. Make sure you get your holiday purchase items for the festive Christmas season.
Heck yeah. Why wouldn't you? Help a brother out. That's what I'm saying. All right. Thanks, guys, for coming out once again. Thanks for commenting. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you guys hit subscribe and hit that little bell right there. You guys be notified anytime put out a new video or when we are going live. Thank you guys once again. This is Thomas and Jay, and we'll see you in the next one.